yes, another tier list from your boy, Dacacity. Now, I know what you're saying. Dakota, why you making tier lists? Well, I'm finally getting views. That's literally it. And I don't know what else to make. So, you know, it goes hand in hand. And I always wanted to go through the perks and, you know, rank them. So let's do it. But before I start, please like the video maybe. Helps me out a lot. I'm a small YouTuber. If I could make this a job, the videos would be better. It helps me out in the algorithm. All right, let's just get into it already. Mind you, I have 60 hours in the game, so my opinion, it matters a little bit, all right? Fire projectile. Hitting, like, you hit a person with a projectile for 3 seconds. If you hit them with a melee, they get ignited for 1 second. 2 seconds if you have a perk matching with your teammate. So this perk's actually very good. Very, very good. It's good because it's a projectile meta. Everyone has projectiles, and this is a fantastic way to rank up damage very quickly. Very easy to proc, and it's fantastic damage. That's not all, folks. Ringing out an opponent it pushes the attacker back towards the center of the stage. Basically, it helps you live if you go for like a risky ring out. I'm gonna put this in D tier. I've never noticed a reason to take this at all, ever. I can't imagine you taking this over any other perk for like any reason whatsoever. Refreshing ring out. Your team refreshes air special attacks when ringing out an enemy. Now, this is pretty much just as worthless as the other one to me. I can't see a scenario where you would actually want to take this over, say, fire projectile or a couple other ones that are coming up on this list. Electric projectile. After allies remain grounded for 7 seconds, next projectile is empowered with electricity, or electric damage, sorry. 4 seconds if your ally also has this. So basically, it buffs your damage, but it's electric damage. Now, I'm not sure what electric damage actually does in this game. I'm gonna be real frank with you right now. I know Garnet does it, but is that it? Is that it? Is she the only one who applies electric debuff damage? Who else does that? I guess the electric debuff is so nonsensical, at least from what I've seen. Like, I don't notice it. So I'm just gonna put it in C, because I would not take this. I would not take this over other perks. But it's damage, and more damage and perks is a lot better than defense, at least from what I've noticed. Damage boost. When you hit debuffed enemies, they take more damage. This is a B tier perk. This is really good on people like Velma, anyone taking the fire projectile perk. It works really well when using fire projectile, basically, and you're a projectile user. Or Superman. It's really easy to get debuffs on people in this game. Debuff ability refund. When you hit a debuff target, you receive cooldown. This is an S tier perk. I love this perk. This perk, combined with another perk on this list, the one that gives projectiles ice powers, is vile on Velma and most of any character that can, you know, use projectiles basically, and has a lot of cooldowns. Obviously, this perk is not very good on people like Superman, who really doesn't even have a cooldown. But when this perk is being used, it is disgusting. And this perk honestly helps my rating with certain characters on the tier list itself. Dodge distance. You get increased dodge distance when dodging out of an attack cancel. This one's solid. This one's a solid one. Basically, if you cancel an attack, it makes it so you become safer afterwards, which is always fine. Tune elasticity. This one is also pretty solid, especially on places like the Scooby-Doo mansion. Basically, you have more time to recover after bouncing, and you will bounce less. So you have more control over yourself when you're being, ping-ponged between surfaces. It's also weirdly good into Steven, because he builds walls and he's tried to combo you off of them. It'll throw him off, basically, if he's practiced the combos. Although, if you've seen my other tier list, you know I really don't feel any intimidation with Steven anyway, so I wouldn't really bother taking that, but it's just it's a solid perk. It's a solid survival perk. Your team receives 6% reduced damage, or 12% if you both have it. Sorry, that took me a while to read. When you're near someone though, which honestly, this is really good. If you're playing a really turtle type playstyle, this perk is solid. You're gonna be near your teammate a lot, and 12% reduced damage is a lot. Faster dodge on vulnerability recharge. Basically, you dodge more. and you're safer while doing it more. I'm gonna put this in B tier as well. It's just such a weird perk to try and rank. Obviously, dodging is your only real defensive tool other than hitting back and running away. So making it recover more is, you know, pretty useful. And projectile damage is vile. All right. This game is projectile heavy, so I'm putting that in S tier. It's 15% increased damage is a lot, especially on things like the rocket from Bugs or just Tom and Jerry's whole kit. This just pushes it over the edge, I think. 12%'s a lot of damage, man. Oh wait, it's 15. Holy moly, dude. That's crazy. Dodge Reflect. I don't see a reason to take this, but it's good if you're having issues with projectiles. So you verse a team of 2 projectile users, you both take this. Now you're reflecting projectiles when you dodge into them. That can, you know, give an issue to your opponent. Definitely cause issues, but I would rather just take things that make my character stronger without having to rely on my opponent being stupid. Stronger than ever. Your team receives armor for 5 seconds after respawning, 7 with both people using it. I'm gonna put that in C tier. Armor after respawning is solid, but it's just, again, this perk is just helping you not lose as much, right? It's not helping you win. Although there are some, obviously that's nonsense because if you're not losing, you're winning, right? But just like do more damage and kill them. It's better to kill them before you die and then you get a buff from your perk. This perk only happens once or twice. Whereas say the damage perk is consistent the entire match. I would much rather take other perks. Slippery Customer. Your team receives 10% longer dodge and vulnerability window. This one's a solid perk. This one is consistent throughout the match, and in being invulnerable longer makes it so it's easier to dodge and it's easier to counterattack, which is fantastic. Ability refund after getting hit by projectiles. I'm gonna put it in B tier. If you're going for a cooldown build, this one is pretty solid. Getting hit by projectiles isn't hard in this game. There's a lot of projectiles. So, you know, refunding your cooldown that much it's 10% per projectile hit. That's insane. But it's nothing to write home about. You still have to have a lot of cooldowns to really make this worth it. This is like a solid Velma perk, 100%, but she also wants other perks, so it's tough. Dodge Armor. Your team receives armor for 1 second successfully neutral dodging a projectile. 3 seconds if your ally has it. I like this one because it gives you, it's probably the best dodging one after dodging a projectile because you get super armor. Some characters don't even have super armor in their kits, and then you just get it for free after dodging a projectile. And I don't think this has a cooldown. It's just like you get it for 1 second or 3 seconds, which is a decent amount of time in a platform fighter. I don't see many people using this, but this is a really solid perk. Projectile Block. Your team receives a projectile block by... What? I can't read that. Oh, I don't like projectile block. It's not absolute terrible. Like, I'll take it on Iron Giant a decent amount, but it's just better perks. You're relying on being hit. Just don't get hit. This is a skill issue perk. In a single bound, you get 10% increased jump height. I take it. I take it a lot, and you really don't need to. It just helps for ringing people out at the top. Oh, jump speed. Oh, I'm dumb. Put that in C tier. We'll put leg day in B tier. Jump height's better than jump speed. I don't care about jump speed. Tasmanian Trigonometry. Now, you may be thinking, Dak, what the hell? This perk is disgusting. I've lived so many times because of this perk. What does it do? Well, it increases your DI. If you don't know what DI is, it's directional influence. When you get hit, you can kind of influence where you're going by pushing against the influence of the other person's knockback. And this increases your influence on that. So I've been like hit at like 150 by like Harley mallets and lived because I had this perk and DI'd correctly. It's crazy. Like there was no shot I was living without the perk. 25% is a lot, dude. It's a lot. I love this perk, but I don't think it's S tier. I think it's A tier. Hit me if you're able. Your team receives 5% increased dodge. This one's also gross. You're dodging faster, which means you can counterattack faster. It's not hard to explain. You know, actually, I'm putting it in B tier. I don't I'd rather have the Tasmanian trigonometry. Deadshot. You have 5% increased damage with projectiles. Oh, shirt cannon snipers the distance, but you're still hitting people from the distance with projectiles most of the time. It's solid. Deadshot on the other end also goes up there. You're just increasing your projectile damage by 10%. That's a lot. That's a lot of damage. And you're hitting people with projectiles a lot in this game. Ability on refund. Wait, what? That's not what it says. Team receives a 10% ability cooldown refund after dodging. This one goes in A tier. 15% if you both have it. That's a lot. That's a lot of cooldown for just dodging an attack. There's so many attacks you can dodge in this game. So many like whiffed attacks that you can just run into the dodge to get that cooldown back. Are you kidding me? Vile on characters that need cooldown. Gravity manipulation. Increased fast fall speed. Sorry. This one's good for combos, but I'd much rather have other perks, okay? I'd much rather have just free damage and stuff. But I'm sure there's some combos that are only possible with this. So I'll put it in C tier, not D tier. Your team deals 15% increased damage for 15 seconds. That's not the amount. Basically, if your allies run out, you deal more damage for a little bit. It's not worth it. You want more perks. You don't want to make one of your perk slots for when you die. That's dumb. You don't want that. Fancy footwork. Increased dodge distance. This on Superman is pretty gross, all right? Because Superman already has one of the longest dodges. I think he has the longest dodge in the game, and it's just so irritating. Obviously, covering more distance with your dodge, pretty good. The whole point of dodging half the time is to, make distance so you could re-enter neutral or counterattack. And getting farther away makes them maybe whiff 2 attacks. Aerial acrobat, sorry. Your team receives 10% increased acceleration. Air acceleration, sorry. I just see no reason to use this, but it's not as worthless as the D tier. So, triple jump. Triple jump is a fantastic perk. Having 3 jumps instead of 2 is just, there's so many shenanigans you can pull off with 3 jumps. CoffeeZilla, instant S tier. Reduced cooldown reduction across the board, period. No restraints, nothing, just cooldown reduction, 15%. That's crazy. Couple this with the other cooldown things, you don't have cooldowns. You're spamming the shit out of people. Speed Force Assist. Your team receives 4% increased base movement speed. This one's also really solid, especially on Finn. Going fast is pretty good. I shouldn't have to tell you why. You can dodge faster. You can get in the combos faster. You can chase people better. It's just solid perk. Have I called them runes? I'm sorry if I have. Projectile Gray Health. I'm not sure where to put this because I never see people using it, but this was like one of the most broken ones in the alpha test, I think, right? Did they nerf it? I just don't see it. This is like one of the few things I just don't see. We'll put it in A tier though, because I think when you knock back people, you and your ally get, gray health. Gray health is just basically armor, but not super armor, but like you're just like taking damage there instead of your actual health. It's like a shield almost. It's, pretty good, but I don't think it's S tier. Collateral damage. 1 damage when you knock them into the floor or the ground. 2 if you both have it. This one is C tier, but B tier, actually A tier if you're in the Scooby-Doo mansion, because obviously you're ping-ponging back and forth in that map constantly. Oh my god. Painted target. Your team deals 5% increased damage by hitting them with a hit stun. This one's pretty good too, increased damage. Getting a person into a hit stun isn't very difficult. You just hit them and then hit them again while they can't do anything. This is very good with projectile users, very good with Bugs Bunny's rocket, very good with like, it's just a shit ton of damage. Makes your comboing vile. Make it Rain Dog, you get 20% increased projectile speed. Again, this just makes it harder to dodge projectiles. Projectile heavy meta, 25% increased projectile speeds, pretty a lot. Yep, those are words, those are English. Wildcat Brawler. You deal 5% increased damage with melee attacks on the ground. This one's, if you're a melee fighter, this is a solid perk. Solid, A tier perk, solid. Just increased damage. Makes your melee attacks, which generally do more than projectiles on average, at least per hit anyway, More damage, big damage, big damage good in the platform fighter, as well as knockback. Crazy how that works. Your team deals 5% knockback upwards damage. Just C tier. The directional ones are just C tier. I don't like the directional ones because it's just hard to not calculate, but I just don't notice them when I use them. This ice perk, the ice projectiles, makes all your projectiles apply a stack of ice. 3 stacks if your ally has it. Are you kidding me? Oh no, this is pre-nerf, isn't it? Oh, this is no, there's no way, because I know it's 1 stack and then 2 stacks if you have an ally in the actual game. I might be missing some perks on this tier list now that I noticed. If I missed any, let me know in the comments, please. But yeah, the ice projectile is very vile, especially on people like Velma. Velma's just gross, dude. She just has so much utility, and it's a 2v2 game, so utility and support really good. And she doesn't even have bad damage or weight. So yeah. That's my perk tier list. If you like it, please like the video. Maybe consider subscribing, checking out my other videos. I upload every single day. We're pogging out. I have a Twitch stream in the description. Leave a comment down below if I missed any or if I got some stuff wrong. I'm always learning. I'm probably gonna update my other tier list soon, so whatever. I'll see you. Goodbye.